Hi y'all, just Kara Jones from motherhenna.com coming at you with another creative prompt today. Today's prompt comes to you by way of Rumi. For those of you who know my poetry background, you know that I love poetry, and Rumi is one of my absolute favorites, particularly the translations by Coleman Barks. So there is one line from Rumi that I really want to use for today's prompt. And the line is, I kissed grief and ... And of course, if you find the Rumi piece, he's got his own exploration of that and what that means and what it looks like for him. But I want you to just use that first line. I kissed grief and ... What does that look like? What do you learn about your grief experience when you've kissed grief and? Right? What new insights do you get to the experience when you personify it that way and interact with it that way, right? So just think about it. You know, some of the things off the top of my head, of course, I have all those sort of mythical fairy tale kinds of things. I kissed the grief frog and he turned into a prince. You know, the story of Snow White, when the prince kisses Snow White when she appears to be dead. All of those kinds of images and storylines may come into play. That's fine. Play with them, experiment with them. You may have your very own sort of imaginative response come up and play in response to it. That's great. You know, let your imagination take you where it goes. If you're not a words person, you could play with it in image. You know, I kissed grief and you might write that sort of across a piece of paper or the top of a canvas or an art journal page or something, and then go about looking for images, right, through old magazines and books that speak to you about that. Images of people kissing, images of lips, images of beauty, images of darkness, images of, you know, whatever it is that speaks to you, and kind of collage that together to show what happens when you kiss beauty. I kissed beauty and, right? And just explore what that looks like and what else you can learn about your own sort of, you know, it's very hard to be objective in anything. It's very hard to be objective. We are always subject to our, as Dr. Cacciatore would say, culture of one, right? Whatever our upbringing has been, our education, our religious views, our experiences, our work experiences, our support system, our sense of resilience and connection or disconnection or disenfranchisement, all of those things are going to make us, you know, give us a certain subjectivity to what's happening. So by exploring I kissed grief and, you're getting a different perspective on your subjective experience with grief. Play around. Play around. You never know what will come from it. Just explore and experiment. There's no right or wrong answer. As always, please come back and leave comments. If you do photos, leave links to them. If you do blog write-ups, leave links to that. I love coming out and being able to see how your creative experiments are going. Thank you so much for being here today. This is Kara Jones from motherhenna.com. We'll be back with more creative prompts really soon.